Hello everyone. It's finally been 4 long years that I've had these dreads, and it's been an awesome journey so far. I don't plan on cutting them anytime soon, but I wanted to do an update for you guys today to show you just the length that I've gotten. I don't have videos that go all the way back to the very beginning when I first started them, but I did start making videos at around 8 months, which you can see if you look on my channel. But yeah. A couple of things have changed in the past couple months. I trimmed a few of them. I think these are 2 that I trimmed. They were all kind of, because when I started, the top of my hair was longer and my bangs were longer than the sides and kind of the back. I didn't really have many layers, so until I trimmed a couple, I kind of just, any ones that like came from this side over would stop, but for the majority, like almost all of them came down to like here, so they were all like they stopped at the same point. I didn't really like how that looked necessarily, so I trimmed a couple for the first time, and I did it over the period, or over the course of probably like 5-6 months. Like I trimmed this one. This is one of the first ones I trimmed, and I can show a video of how I trimmed them. I actually might do that soon. It's kind of hard to see with the light, but anyway. This one's been trimmed, and they'd be kind of fuzzy for a little while, but they kind of, the way that I cut them, they kind of come to a point still. I mean, although, I mean, this is, you know, loose hair on the tip, but it's not much. It's maybe like an inch on the majority of them that I've cut. Look at the other ones. This one's kind of funny one, but still worked out okay. And then I know I cut, yeah, this is one of my longest ones before I trimmed it. And it was like, I mean, it stops about here now. You can see where that stops, but before it was way down here. So I just feel like it gives it a better look, especially when, like, from the front view, I just feel like it looks better to have a couple layers, rather than them all, you can barely see that black one, just stop. And which would naturally happen if you dreaded your hair with all of it the same length, but the top of my hair was 3 or 4 inches longer than the sides, so I just felt like as time went on, they kind of just, I don't know, I wanted to trim them. The black ones that I dyed black a while ago are still black. You can see where they've grown out. I got about that much length since I dyed them, but they will not fade. I mean, if you look, you can kind of see in the light, the tip is looks a little brown, but I mean, it's still black. You wouldn't see that unless you looked up close in like sunlight, but suckers are still black. These, what I've done really whenever I've colored them, any color other than black, I waited to, I let them fade out till they were almost to the point to where they were just like my hair color again. Then I'd re-dye the same ones a different color. So I didn't just, the ones that I started with coloring, I had red before, if you guys remember that. Then I had like bluish, greenish, turquoise-ish kind of color. And then once they fade, so these, all the ones that are dyed that you've seen different colors are the same dreads. But I'm trying to think if there's any maintenance. I haven't done too much maintenance really. I know I always say that, but I used the crochet hook a little bit. A couple weeks ago, I was sitting messing with Ryan's dreads, and I had like some loose hair on top, a lot in between that was like, I mean, probably 5 inches long, and just random spots, just like right on like the crown of my head, like back here, and it was just bothering me. And so I pulled that in with the crochet hook because I couldn't, my loose hair tool was at my apartment, I think, at the apartment. So I pulled some in, and then occasionally I will do that though. Like, I just forget about it a lot that I do it. But honestly, like, if it gets out of hand, or if there's something that's just bothering me, if it's one really long spot of loose hair, I'll pull it in. I'll use the loose hair tool, like the crochet hook, and just kind of feed it through, or just crochet it in, the way that I do that. But yeah, this one's kind of cool. This is where I combine the 2 of them whenever they were young dreads. You can kind of see the crevice right there, kind of a weird bump. And then on the end, just over the past year, I guess this is like what I started with like with the length of my dread. So this dread at one point was just this long, and of course it compacts and gets shorter over time, but it doesn't really shrink anymore. But about a year ago, they kind of started splitting, and so this is actually the dread that I pulled inside of this dread, and just from taking a beating from hitting things all the time, sorry to get out of frame, just from taking a beating, hairs broke on the end, and then slowly but surely it just kind of, they split. At one point, this one was all the way in to this dread, and I still had maybe about an inch of room. But I mean, this dread was one of the ones that was just loose on the tip, and so it's got a little shorter and then split, which I don't mind. It's kind of cool. A lot of time most of the time it just kind of stays together though, and you can't really even tell. But what else? That's it, I think. I mean, they've definitely gotten longer in the past year. Like I said in that video I posted a week or two ago, I'm ready for one more year of length, and then I think I'll be happy with where they are, and probably keep them there. Well, I've always said I'll trim them once they reach my butt. Like once I sit on them, that'll be annoying, so I'll trim them. But I don't want to grow them that long, just so I can say I can, I guess, just to see what it's like. But still have a couple, like 3 or 4 more years before that happens, so I'm not worried about that. But my ideal length would be my elbows. The camera's kind of high, but just like where my elbows rest when my arms are down, that's kind of my ideal length. And once they reach that point, I'll probably keep them. I'll probably wear them up most of the time. I like the way that looks, wearing them up with like scarves and wraps and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll make a video about the way that I wear them, different styles. I've been trying to figure that out, but just it's hard to come up with new things. Most of the stuff that I've seen, or most of the things that I do, is stuff that I've seen other people do. I think everyone with dreads slowly starts just doing their own thing and holding them up different ways, and you kind of think it's like your own thing, but then you get online and people have been doing that. People just think the same a lot of the times when it comes to hair, especially with dreads. You can only do so many things, and everyone gets tired every once in a while of having either there's your neck being covered when it's hot, but now that it's super cold, I definitely wear them down a lot. But I guess that's it. I'll go ahead and show them to you guys. Give you the spin around. Get thick. It's a lot of hair. I actually recounted them, and this whole time I thought I started with 52, and then when I combined the one I showed you, I pulled that one in, so then I thought I had 51, but I recounted them, and I think I have a few dreads over 60 actually, so which is cool. Whatever, I don't really mind. I like the way that they've turned out. With the sizes of the sections that I chose from the beginning, and a lot of people ask this question, so I'll go ahead and answer it because I've answered in a lot of videos, but people don't want to spend the time to watch them, so they ask anyway. But my hair, my hair's about, I mean, it's definitely not thick, and it's not really that thin, and I don't have very coarse hair, meaning like my individual hairs aren't very thick. I would say I'm somewhere right in the middle, and my sections are 1 inch. For the most part. If I twist this up, you can kind of see it. You know. Some of them are a little bit smaller. Oh, right, I almost forgot to tell you guys about this. I Congoed 2 of them. The ones right, like just this first dread, right in the corner of like my hairline. They never were breaking or anything, but it just got really thin. I don't know, it's just annoying. It's so much thinner than the other ones. Not too thin, but I finally decided I'd go ahead and join it with the one right above it, which was also a little bit thicker, but still kind of thin. And so now, I did that like 3 months ago, or maybe about 2 months ago. But I crocheted it together. Instead, I put a bead on it right by the root, but I also crocheted it, and the first like inch or 2 of the dread was kind of loose and fuzzy, so they kind of connected. I got about an inch of solid dread that hasn't grown out. It's probably grown out about that much since I started that one. And this one, the dreads by the root weren't as close. I did the same thing on this side. Weren't as fuzzy whenever I connected them, so I couldn't connect them too far down the dread. But I connected those two, so we'll see how those grow out. That'll be a good reference point for my other videos or future videos. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I've been trying to do pretty good at replying on my, because now I can use my phone and reply to YouTube comments and stuff. So leave some comments and I'll respond to those. I'm not sure, I haven't found a way to get to my messages on YouTube through my phone yet, but once I do, I'll start answering messages, and I'll do it on the computer too. I have the computer here at work. I'm at work. So yeah, 4-year dreadlock anniversary. Don't plan on cutting them. I've loved having them this entire time. Oh, and so since I did trim them, I saved like just the tips. Some of them are about that long. Maybe some of them are a little bit shorter, of the dreads that I trimmed off, the part that I cut off. And I looked inside of them. One of them I split pretty much all the way down the center, and I didn't have any residue from when I very first started. I used that little bit of wax with like the first day whenever I did like half my head, and then a couple days later I washed it out after I had completed the rest of my head without the wax. But I thought maybe there might be a little bit of wax in there, and there wasn't any wax. The wax that I did use was the Dreadhead HQ wax, and I just remember whenever I got rid of it, I just did what they said to do, and I just used kind of warm water, about as warm as I could take, and just washed them 2 or 3 times, and I got it all out. Or whatever their regimen is for getting the wax out of your hair, which wasn't very hard. But I am having, now that they're longer, I am having to be more careful. My wife will notice that there's lint in them sometimes, and she'll help me get them out, or get the lint out. So I try and run through my head every day or so and kind of look around for lint, but honestly I kind of forget to, so you guys know how it is. Yeah, so the dreads that I cut off didn't have any gunk or anything in the inside of them, and I looked in all of them, but that one, I only split one down the middle just to check, because it was one of the ones that I had. It was this one, the one's by the front, this one I trimmed. Before I trimmed this sucker, I mean, it was long. This is my longest one that I have, right behind it, so you can see the difference. It's a pretty good distance. Cut off about that much. So, and this part's so tight from when I crocheted a lot in the beginning. You can almost tell a difference in like the pattern. Wish I could show you really well, but this part's just a little bit tighter than the rest of this, and not as bendable, but I mean it still moves and stuff. It's all good. Works good. A little bit thicker, but yeah, that's the part I cut off and like dissected on this one. And there wasn't anything in it from all those. If you guys have seen the products reviews that I did, I mean a couple of years ago, it's been a while now, but from all that stuff that I've tried and everything, I haven't had any residue. And honestly, I'm not recommending this, but I've been even a little bit lazy. Since I've started my dreads, I've probably done the apple cider, like the full deep cleanse for dreads that I've talked about and I've recommended, and you can find all over YouTube. I've done that probably like 4 times, and I'm going to start doing it every month to 2 months. So, but even in the midst of not doing that too often, I was pretty surprised to find that there wasn't a lot of gunk in my dreads. But I recommend you do that every 2 months, because everyone's lifestyle is different. How much you sweat can contribute to how much gunk you catch in your hair just from dirt flying around in the air and dust and all that stuff. So please do that. Please deep clean your dreads about once every month to 2 months. 6 months max, definitely. This video is getting kind of long. We're at 14 minutes and 10 seconds, so I'll wrap it up. But what else was I going to say? I think that's it. So leave your questions in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. If not, you can shoot me a message. Big thanks to you guys for watching my videos for all this time. Seriously, and like I said, I'm going to be posting more videos soon, doing updates on Shannon's dreads and Ryan's dreads, and I'm going to be installing some extensions on Shannon. And Ryan is, I already dreaded his hair, and his are short, about a little bit longer than mine when I first started. So you guys will be able to see his progress and updates. So love you guys. Have a good day and a really good rest of the year. Bye.